The Senate is expected to vote on raising the debt ceiling, so the government is funded up until December of 2022. But the Senate also has a 50-50 split between Democrats and Republicans, meaning that the legislative filibuster would require 10 Republicans to vote in favor of it in order for it to pass. Mitch McConnell has made clear that not a single Republican senator will vote in favor of it. In fact, he says that if Democrats want to fund the government, the best way to do that is to pass the legislation through the reconciliation process, which requires a simple majority. They can certainly do that. They could also certainly completely get rid of the Senate filibuster, which I think would be a really, really good idea. But we'll get to that in just a moment. McConnell said on the Senate floor Thursday that it would take Democrats about a week or a little more to use the so-called budget reconciliation procedure to raise the debt limit. Senate Democrats have so far resisted employing the tactic, saying that the effort should be bipartisan, as it has been in the past. So I want to go to this video of Mitch McConnell. He gave a press conference, and I don't know, maybe Democrats should really call his bluff. We'll see, but let's watch.
We have a Democratic president, Democratic House, a Democratic Senate. They have decided to, with the possible exception of infrastructure, all year long to operate on a partisan basis. A $1.9 trillion bill earlier this year that all of us opposed for darn good reason, and this reckless tax and spending measure, which could range from $3.5 trillion to $5 trillion. So my advice to this Democratic government, the president, the House, and the Senate, don't play Russian roulette with our economy. Step up and raise the debt ceiling to cover all that you've been engaged in all year long. So no effort on their part to describe our position as irresponsible makes any sense, because the facts are indisputable. This is a totally democratic government. They have an obligation to raise the debt ceiling, and they will do it.
No, but he's right. He's actually right, and we gotta be honest about that, okay? Congress controlled by the Democrats. Executive branch controlled by the Democrats. There are no excuses, no excuses. They could scrap the filibuster if they wanted to scrap the filibuster, but they won't do it. I would argue that that's a far better way to do it, and it would show strength. Instead, Democrats are like, but we want to do this in a bipartisan way. Why? Why? I don't get it. Man, the Democratic Party, let's just keep it real. Incredibly embarrassing. In vote after vote, issue after issue, the most embarrassing party. Okay, the cowardice, the weakness, the naivete, I can't stand it.
Okay, so there's two parts of this. One is the portion that Anna mentioned about McConnell being right about the Democrats. I'm gonna get back to that in a second. But first, let's talk about the things he's wrong about. Over the top hypocrisy. So he says, and guys, that's why I keep saying one of the main culprits is the mainstream media, because look at what he says. It's just amazing. Is there a single reporter in the room? He said the Democrats are playing Russian roulette with the economy because they won't raise the debt ceiling. All of the Republicans, including Mitch McConnell, are voting no on raising the debt ceiling.
I know, but Republicans are gonna Republican, Cenk.
No, I know, no. But Anna, you and I know that. But how many Americans actually see that? Because no reporter ever says, hey, by the way, the Republicans are goddamn liars.
Of course they don't say it.
Now, of course they don't say it because they're not reporters. They're not media, they're not journalists. They're just stenographers for the people in power. It's all a game, it's kabuki theater. If there were a single journalist who wanted to actually do the creed of journalism, which is comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable, they would say, wait, Senator, I don't understand what you just said. You said it's playing Russian roulette with the economy and you're voting no. So aren't you playing Russian roulette with the economy? Isn't every single Republican playing Russian roulette with the economy? And by the way, here's the second piece of hypocrisy. You all voted to raise the debt ceiling under Trump. So you voted no under Obama, yes under Trump, and no under Biden. Doesn't it seem like maybe you're trying to tank the economy and hurt the American people on purpose for your political agenda? No, those things are super obvious. And you won't get any reporter in media to say it because they work for corporations. They're totally corrupt. The reporters, the editors, they're all in on the game. It's absurd to not raise the debt ceiling. All it means is we're gonna pay our debts. We've already incurred those debts. This is not a budget bill where you decide how to spend the money. This is after you spent the money, do you pay the credit card debt or don't you? And the Republicans are saying, let's be deadbeats and let's destroy the credibility of America and the American dollar and absolutely pulverize our economy and the world economy. And the reporter's like, I can't tell who's right or who's wrong.
It's a look, okay. And they're doing it for politics. That's what I mean when I say Republicans are gonna Republican. And for Democrats to sit back and expect the media to cover this accurately and to call them out on their hypocrisy is ridiculous. In fact, this wouldn't even be a political opportunity for Mitch McConnell and Republicans if Democrats got rid of the filibuster. If they got rid of the filibuster, if they actually played hardball and accomplished things for the American people and the constituents who put them in that position of power in the first place, this wouldn't be an issue. But they're unwilling to do that. Instead, they give these embarrassing interviews like the one I'm about to show you featuring Senator Elizabeth Warren, where they're like, but why don't they just play ball? Because they're Republicans, they want to defeat you. Let's watch.
You have no choice. Why not just?
What is no choice? Why aren't you asking the Republicans about this?
Well, we are asking. They're saying they're going to block. They're saying they're going to block it this week. So then what?
What reason?
Well, you know the reason. You've heard the reason, but I'm asking you.
Actually, I haven't heard the reason.
They say that they're not going to do it because of everything that's happening on the Democratic side of the agenda. But regardless, if they're going to vote against it, don't you guys have the obligation to raise it on yourself?
Are we hostage to Republicans who are threatening to blow up a part of the economic system because they want to do that for politics? That's just not where we should be as a nation. None of us were elected to come here just to cause trouble so that the Republicans can get reelected.
You're hostages if you make yourself hostages, and they have made themselves hostages. We saw today on the House floor how Democratic lawmakers are willing to speak out against one another. This was in regard to the House floor vote on a $1 billion military spending, additional military spending for Israel. Rashida Tlaib voted against it, and then a fellow Democrat, Representative Deutsch from Florida, gets up on the House floor and calls her anti-Semitic. And it's amazing because you can see that they're willing to call each other out. So when it comes to the filibuster, yeah, you're gonna have the mansions and the cinemas who claim that they wanna maintain it, they won't get rid of it. But how about you break their backs?
Yeah, so look, this is actually really simple. And that's why-
Politically, by the way.
Nina Turner ran, that's why I ran. Because if I'm being honest about it, on some issues now, finally, there's some plain spoken Democrats, Rashida Tlaib, Cori Bush, among them. But on issues like this, look, it's super simple. If that reporter comes to me and says, oh, well, the Republicans aren't gonna raise the debt ceiling, I've got a couple answers. The one I gave you earlier. And then second of all, you say, hey, listen, they're basically saying that we're idiots for trying to work with them. So we're not gonna work with them anymore. How's that? Okay, boom, I'm done. I'm done with the parliamentarian, I'm done with reconciliation, I'm done with the filibuster. McConnell told me to be. He said, what are you trying to work with me for? What are you, stupid? I'm never gonna give you a vote. Okay, then I don't need your goddamn votes because we have 50 Democratic senators. But they're not willing to say that. Why, guys, why? Does anybody actually honestly believe they're negotiating with Republicans? And for what reason? No, they're negotiating with their donors. That's why they're pretending that they want bipartisanship when they don't need it at all. They don't need those votes. They're pretending that Manchin and Sinema are having heartfelt issues when Sinema's collecting checks on the daily from drug companies. We're not negotiating with Republicans, we're negotiating with donors. Now that's why I'm sick of the corporate media. Who in media is telling you that? Turn on cable news. The brave Rachel Maddow telling you that? No. They never talk about the real problem. The real problem is all these people take money from corporate interests and they serve them and they do this kabuki theater and the media loves the fake theater, loves it, and is never gonna tell you the truth about what's happening. This issue is so easy, Anna's 100% right. We just go in, we go, oh, okay, you guys don't wanna raise the debt ceiling. Get the hell out of the way then, that's it. We're doing it through reconciliation. Oh, parliamentarian, what are you gonna say? Please say no, please say no. You're fired, get the hell out. Next parliamentarian. It doesn't matter. You have the power. You're choosing not to use it because you love your donors so much.
This shouldn't even be a story. Like, I'm gonna be honest, this is an annoying, the fact that it's a story is annoying. Democrats hold the power. They can get this done without Republicans, but they refuse to do it. In fact, one last thing that I want to bring up. So what's the plan? What are they going to do? Because Republicans have made themselves clear. So are they going to do it through reconciliation? Are they going to have a carve out? What are they going to do? Like, are they going to get rid of the filibuster? Of course not. Debbie Stabenow, senator from Michigan, says, I don't know what the plan B is.
Yeah.
Plan B is to have Republicans step up and be responsible.
No, it's not. That's never gonna happen. You could do that plan A through Z. It's never going to happen. They're useless. I'm so sick of this game. And I'm so sick of the refs lying to you nonstop. Oh, Republicans, Democrats, we can't tell. Oh, Republicans, they voted to increase the debt ceiling under Trump, but they won't under Biden or Obama. Well, I can't tell if that's right. Well, if you can't tell if that's right or wrong, you suck at your job. Go be a plumber. Nothing wrong with being a plumber. It's an honorable profession. But just being a courtesan of the powerful, it's disgusting. And Democrats, shut up already about the Republicans. Oh, we haven't gotten Republican permission. You look like weaklings and cowards. Asking the other party, your opponents, for permission to legislate when you have every branch of Congress and the presidency. And you're still asking pretty please. Either actually do your job or shut up about opposing Republicans. You don't even run in elections. Just let the Republicans win all the elections. Because your donors like them a little bit better anyway. You're paid to be patsies, pathetic. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.